we're moving on to the next topic. My New York Yankees look absolutely abysmal. We kind of look like dog shit as of recent. We kind of look like the beginning of the regular season where we were struggling to do a lot of relevant things. And I mean, like, we're losing a lot of games, but we're putting up a good amount of points in certain games. And I think this kind of all started after the White Sox series, which is, I think, the last time we kind of talked about the Yankees, believe it or not, which is kind of ironic.
Yeah,
We had a quick
you were
3 game.
you were scared for that series, and then they ended up
I,
sweeping
I
the White Sox.
I was, and then we went and the Blue Jays came to town and they took 2 out of 3. The Detroit Tigers, we went down to Detroit, we got swept. We split 2-2 with the Rays. We got swept by the Red Sox. We lost the Twin Series. Actually, no, we won the Twin Series 2-1, and then we got absolutely annihilated in a 2-game interconference or inter whatever series against the Phillies. Phillies won
Interleague.
8-7 interleague series against the Phillies. The Phillies won on Saturday 8-7, and then the Phillies absolutely annihilated us 7-0 yesterday. So I'm kind of just looking at these Yankees performances, and I'm just circling pitching, man. Apparently, Luis Severino had a setback in rehab, and he pulled a groin, so he's looking like he's not going to be coming back anytime soon. Domingo Germán had an atrocious game yesterday. He gave up, I believe, 4 or 5 runs. Aroldis Chapman has blown about 2 saves in the last week or so. And I mean, it kind of continues from there, man. We really just cannot get anything going. Talon got rocked a couple of nights before. And the Yankees overall just look like they've hit a slump. Giancarlo Stanton is playing very well as of late, so I can't really pin it on him. Aaron Judge and DJ LeMahieu seem to be getting it together at the right time. But overall, as a team offensively, I can't necessarily complain. Within the last couple of games, I want to say, excluding some of the Red Sox games, the Yankees scored 5 points to end the Red Sox series, 8 points, 9 points, 5 points, 7 points, and then we had that skunk outing against the Phillies on Sunday. So I can't say the offense is the issue now, which is actually the opposite of the issue that we were looking at a few weeks ago, which was the pitching was dominant, but the offense was lacking. So it seems we're going through some sorts of a midlife crisis as we approach the halfway point in the MLB season. So, I mean, the Yankees are just struggling, bro. I can't really say anything less than that because there are outings where we look absolutely stellar. Like, we came back in the Phillies game, which is huge for me because we were down, I believe, 5-0, and it ended up being 2-7. And then we ended up coming back, tying the game in the 9th, and we lost in extras. So I can't be upset at that. But overall, as a Yankees fan, we're just not performing. We had oh my goodness, I just lost the word. It started with an I, but it is what it is. We lost very important series against the Red Sox, and then we struggled against the Rays, splitting that 2-2. In order to try to take control of the AL East, we needed to dominate those series, and we just did not do those things. And I'm not happy. We're going into a series tomorrow against the Blue Jays. I believe it's 4 games. It's 3 games, actually. Excuse me. And the Blue Jays are one of the hottest teams in the AL East. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is absolutely crushing the baseball, and he's leading almost every statistical category offensively for the Blue Jays. And I don't know if we're going to be able to stop him. So Kyle, you got a lot to say. I see it in your face. And you're making the Skip Bayless noise, which is actually getting me more upset. So just tee off, man. What do you got to say, bro?
Man, y'all 8.5 back against the Rays right now. Rays are freaking cooking. These boys are
Who split that series?
I know. 8.5 games back, though. Man, you guys were looking good about 2 weeks ago. And I don't know
we got half the year to go, man.
I know. Trust me, it's a long season. I'm fully aware of that. It's just I saw an ESPN Plus article before we started recording questioning whether the Yankees were even contenders, like playoff contenders at this point. And I'm looking at this record right now. They're 1 game above 500.
Mm-hmm.
They're 3-7 in their last 10 games, and 17-16 at home. What's going on here? Like,
can't say anything, man. Playing like poopy.
Where's the Bronx? This is like the mecca of baseball.
Oh, the Bronx is there. It ain't had nothing to do with the Bronx. Let me tell you that. It ain't got nothing to do with the hood. It's the fact that the Yankees ain't fucking putting out. So don't be questioning the neighborhood if you don't know what you're talking about. We there. We booing them because we know they're not putting out what they need to be putting out.
I'm just saying, maybe those boos got to get a little bit louder then, because
we need a lot of things to get louder, man.
I mean,
I'm just tired of these performances, bro. It's
I mean,
ridiculous.
It came to a point where, look, the Yankees were really kind of like in a 3-team race for the top of the AL East about a month ago. I mean, literally, it was the Rays, the Red Sox, and the Yankees competing for that top spot. And I think, if I remember right, the Rays and the Red Sox were tied for first place, and I think the Yankees were a half game back. And since then, it's just been an avalanche for the Yankees. I mean, the Red Sox are still there. They're only 2.5 games back. But the Blue Jays have played better recently. And, man, the Yankees have really just kind of cratered since the last Yankees discussion that we had, which was probably about, what, 3 weeks ago?
2-3 weeks ago. Yep.
Yeah, so like you said, though, it's a long season. And, I mean, just looking at that we're not even halfway through the season yet. We're not even at the 80-game point yet. So, you know.
Yeah. I'm getting tired of these bullpen outings that we have.
It's not how you start, it's how you finish.
Yeah, but I'm just tired of these bullpen outings that we have. A lot of people are kind of just getting to the Yankee rumors. A lot of people are asking for Boone's head. I don't necessarily know if letting Boone go is going to do anything. I was listening to, once again, I've mentioned them before, the Bronx Pinstripes podcast. And, shout out to them, always giving us great Yankee breakdown for us Yankee fans. If you guys aren't following them, check them out on YouTube, Instagram. They're amazing. They give full analysis and breakdowns of all Yankee games and all Yankee content. But they made a good point. We let go of Girardi because Girardi was very free-spoken. Girardi was very against the grain. He kind of managed the team the way that he wanted to be managed. And he was outspoken and very verbal about how he felt about the team. So what did we do? We let him go and we hired Aaron Boone, someone who's very inexperienced, if not completely inexperienced in the managerial portion of the game. And we won 100 games back-to-back years. Not because of Aaron Boone's ability to manage, but because we had incredible talent in that bullpen, in that dugout, and overall as an organization. So going out there and firing the manager of the Yankees isn't really going to do anything for us when the inconsistencies are all around the team as a whole. There are weeks when our pitching is lights out, like I've discussed, and our offense is abysmal. And then there's weeks where our offense looks like the Yankees, and then the pitching staff is just absolutely atrocious. Mm-hmm. So I think the Yankees kind of need to take a deep dive into this season and really make a decision on whether or not we're going to kind of push forward to try to compete for, like Kyle said, maybe the epitome of a wild card, because it doesn't look like we're going to be able to compete for this AL East title with the Rays running away with the division and all of the competitive teams in the AL this season. So I'm not really encouraged at the pace that we're going. I know that we do have a little bit more than halfway to go, obviously, but as Kyle said, 3-7 in our last 10. That's not going to cut it. And we're just kind of losing games we need to win.
I think if the Yankees can get their pitching and their hitting to like mesh where both of them are on, then you guys, I think, can make a really big run here. But it's like you said, it's been one half does really well, like with the pitching staff, but the hitting's not there. Well, now the hitting's there and the pitching has been inconsistent. But it was like at some point, the pitching was going to take a step back or falter a little bit because, let's be honest with you, the pitching staff for the Yankees the last month and a half have really outperformed my expectation of what I thought they would. But the Yankees bats let them down. Even though they won some of these games, they weren't putting a lot of runs up for their
2-1, 3-1, 1-0.
Just the overall run support for the pitching staff was not there. And even with Chapman, like Chapman had a fantastic start to the season, and he's had
12 and 12 or 13 and 13.
He had some blown saves. I remember the one in Minnesota where they were up 5-3, and he gave up 2 home runs in the bottom of the ninth. But at some point, look, he was going to probably blow a game or two here and there, which I think is normal. That's not like, oh my God, like it's the worst thing to ever happen, but it just happens.
Can't expect perfection in that regard. A closing pitching job is not an easy feat for anybody.
Yeah, I think at this point, they kind of have to take stock in where they are right now. Obviously, they want to be in a better position that they're currently in right now. And it's like I said, I think once they're able to finally get the bats and the pitching staff to perform at a high level simultaneously, I think you guys could be set up for a big run. I just don't know whether or not that's going to be sparked by some sort of in-season trade, shaking up the lineup. I'm not 100% sure about that. That's probably your expertise better than what I could say. But it's just until it can't just be one half of the team dominates and the other half is slacking. It's not going to work out like that. It's going to lead to, unfortunately for you, them breaking your heart again.
Yeah, I mean, just to kind of circle around some of the rumors, there are a lot of people aside from the Aaron Boone firing saying that we're going to be trading some valuable assets away. I've seen speculation, not even official rumors, of us entertaining offers for Judge. I've looked at things maybe for Chapman. There's just like, obviously when your team sucks or when your team is struggling, everybody's on the block, man. If you leave it up to the fans, they would get rid of everybody on this roster when they get into a slump. So I take it with a grain of salt. Obviously the consistencies are all falling behind. We need another pitcher. With Severino coming with a setback in rehab, it's not looking good for that fifth spot in the rotation to kind of get solidified. We've been doing a lot of these bullpen games where we kind of throw somebody out there as a middle reliever and then kind of follow up with the rest of the pen. Luis Sessa has not been good this season, up to par. Lasonia has been absolutely incredible this season, who actually got verified on Twitter. Shout out to my boy Santino. Actually got into a Twitter discussion with him, and he responded back. So that was pretty cool. But Michael King has not been playing well. Nick Nelson has not been playing well. So, I mean, overall as a whole, the Yankees pitching staff, like I've discussed a few minutes ago, is just not playing up to par. So I think that we need to kind of sit back and reevaluate. Do we need to call some people up? Do we need to send the people back down? Do we need to make an acquisition at the trade deadline? Do we need to just let some people go in this offseason? I don't know. I don't know what Cashman's thinking. I don't know what the Yankees are thinking. So I can only speculate. I'm not happy with where we are. I do think that we can turn it around. But I said this a few moments ago. I don't think that we're going to be able to compete for this AL East title. I think that our best setup is sitting here fighting for a wild card spot, just because I don't think we can keep up with the Rays as the season progresses if we continue to have inconsistencies offensively and defensively. Like Kyle said, we have to be able to come together and win the games that we need to win. No disrespect to the Phillies series. That's irrelevant to us, at least in terms of not only division, but conference record. We're going to sit here. We're going to get swept by the division rivals of all people, the Red Sox. We're going to split 2 with the goddamn fucking Rays. And then we're going to split, or should I say, we're going to lose 1 to the Twins, bottom of the 9th, with Aroldis Chapman. I think that kind of hindered our ability going into the Phillies series. And
got swept by the Tigers.
We just can't go. Yeah, we went. I don't want to talk about that, man. That was just embarrassing. I don't even, bro. I looked at my phone and I saw the box score and I was like, bro, are we really losing to these idiots? But hey, it is what it is. We have a lot.